In May of 1984, 6 condemned murderers escaped from Mecklenburg Correctional Center in Virginia, sparking one of the largest manhunts in American history. Considered one of the most secure facilities in the country, this shocking incident rocked America's justice system to its core. How did a group of prisoners manage to escape from one of America's most secure facilities? What shocking acts did they commit during their desperate bid for freedom? Get ready, because this is how a group of ingenious killers fooled security and broke free, committing even more shocking acts in a desperate bid to evade capture during 19 tense days on the run. For 19 tense days, law enforcement fiercely hunted for the escaped killers across multiple states. The fugitives split up as they fled, with some quickly captured after crimes committed on the run betrayed their locations. But the 2 most ruthless, James and Linwood Briley, evaded authorities the longest, even engaging in a shootout with police at one point. With nothing left to lose and a willingness to kill, the Briley gang brought the manhunt to its most anxious chapter. Willie Turner, an inmate with a sharp intellect and remarkable craftsmanship skills, hatched an ingenious escape plan 2 months prior to its execution. Turner first recruited 5 fellow prisoners to assist him. The group eventually included notorious killers Earl Clanton, Derek Peterson, Willie Jones, L.M. Tuggle, and perhaps most dangerously, white supremacist brothers James and Linwood Briley. Turner's plan initiated with subterfuge, an anonymous bomb threat sent to the state prosecutor's office, warning of an explosive device hidden within the prison walls. Though the resulting emergency searches found nothing, this deception implanted the idea of a bomb as a distraction tool. On May 31st, the night of the escape, Clanton hid himself in a bathroom right as the plot kicked off. He awaited the coordinated signal to emerge. Next, Willie Jones and L.M. Tuggle faked medical issues to slip away early from their work detail back to their cells. This diversion drew guards away from their posts right before a shift change. Seizing the opportunity, the remaining conspirators started a staged fight out by the exercise yard. As the facility's guards rushed to break it up, Clanton received his cue, racing from his hiding place to the control room left abandoned in the commotion. Inside, Clanton pressed the switch, releasing the electronically controlled cell doors. In seconds, the cell block doors swung open to a shocking sight, releasing all the death row inmates at once, brandishing crude prison-made knives and weapons. The rush of attackers overwhelmed the few guards present. Yelling threats and directions, Willie Turner masterfully guided the blitzkrieg strike from within his cell, allowing him to direct the takeover while avoiding later charges for actively escaping. Outnumbering them 10-1, the prisoners easily subdued the guards. Now in charge of the cell block, the convicts' stolen guard keys and uniforms offered them astonishing new access. Stripping the hostages down to their undergarments, the escape crew donned the uniforms as disguises and handcuffed their former watchman inside a utility closet. Willie Turner appointed his most ruthless accomplices, Clanton, Peterson, and the Briley brothers, as squad leaders trusted to secure each phase of their escape. Turner himself coordinated efforts from afar within his cell, tracking progress through a handheld radio. The killers now focused on reaching the final barriers, a set of dual security checkpoints separating the cell block from the outside world. Manipulating their highest-ranked hostage, a low-level lieutenant, into helping at gunpoint, the disguised fugitives tricked each gate's sentries in turn. Approaching the second interior gate, Clanton forced the lieutenant at shank point to convince the guard that headquarters had ordered it opened. As she unsuspectingly complied, he overpowered her once inside and locked her in a closet. At the main exterior entrance, the conspirators covered a television set with blankets to simulate an explosive. Threatening their captive face down in the dirt, Briley demanded he radio the exterior gate guard with an urgent warning. A live bomb inside necessitated immediate extraction. Per the phony orders, the exterior guard broke strict protocols by opening both massive 20-foot gates at once. He dutifully drove a prison van inside, believing he was assisting bomb techs. Instead, the costumed escapees burst forth, pilfering the vehicle and driving straight out to freedom past the hapless guard. Turner and his accomplices ecstatically cruised away in the stolen van, guard uniform fragments fluttering out the windows. Their destination, anywhere but the confines they'd escaped. After 19 years inside concrete walls, the open road unfurling ahead symbolized unimaginable possibilities. The first glimpse of hope came when Earl Clanton and Derek Peterson were captured just 19 hours later, arrested while casually eating at a public laundry shop. But the remaining 4 psychopathic killers were still on the loose. Willie Jones and L.M. Tuggle stuck together as they fled north to Vermont. Running low on gas, Tuggle robbed an antique store at knife point before police rang him up just 8 days later. Jones surrendered himself the very next morning, lost and exhausted in the woods. Meanwhile, the Briley brothers peeled off on their own after acquiring a stolen vehicle. These 2 remorseless white supremacists were likely the most dangerous, with some 20 known murders between them. An attempted carjacking 300 miles south confirmed the brothers had separated from the pack when they shot at a cop trying to intervene, prompting a new statewide alert. As rumors of Briley sightings flooded in, their fugitive status became a growing media sensation. With dwindling leads, investigators focused on staking out the home of the Briley's uncle. After 2 anxious weeks, an undercover agent finally glimpsed the notorious killers back in Virginia, working a shift at a dealership run by an acquaintance. A massive takedown operation surrounded the building and caught the Brileys off guard. For several uncertain moments, the violent siblings hesitated, contemplating a final shootout or a run for it. But soon they surrendered, at last ending the desperate 19-day manhunt. In the aftermath of the escape, Mecklenburg prison descended into chaos. Riots and fights between inmates became routine, with 2 guards even stabbed by shanks in the weeks after. Prisoners grew emboldened as the breakout exposed flaws in the administration's control over the facility. The warden and his security deputy were suspended indefinitely. The governor ordered a review of all prison operational practices as skepticism mounted whether Mecklenburg could still claim to be a maximum security institution after this shocking breach. Daily acts of unrest became routine, resulting in major incidents both among the inmates themselves and between inmates and guards. This created an unstable environment within the prison. Several riot control teams had to be deployed, using tear gas and riot gear to quell disturbances. At one point, a full-scale riot broke out when dozens of prisoners refused orders to return to their cells. Guards were trapped as inmates flooded common areas, brandishing shanks and homemade weapons. It took hours before the specially trained team suppressed the riot. Many inmates and guards suffered injuries in the battle to regain control. The chaos highlighted glaring security flaws that allowed inmates to access weapons and coordinate uprisings. In the riot's aftermath, administrators discovered contraband weapons hidden throughout the facility, exposing a stunning breakdown of vital search protocols among the complacent guards. Shaken by the disorder, officials scrutinized everything from inmate work programs to weekly exercise schedules. Trust between guards and prisoners suffered immense damage. Realizing lax oversight enabled the anarchy, administrators vowed to strictly enforce all policies to prevent another collapse of discipline. Sweeping reforms sought to mend the prison's tarnished reputation. Strict disciplinary measures were established for guards who violated rules or protocols. Security gates now required simultaneous electronic overrides, no longer vulnerable to a lone guard being manipulated. The administration strictly enforced restrictions many had previously ignored, like ensuring bathroom locks couldn't be compromised after an inmate escaped capture in one. Guards required keys at all times, prohibited from taking bathroom breaks without coordinated oversight. Comprehensive pat-downs and cell searches became routine. Even lawyers and religious volunteers faced thorough inspections before any contact with prisoners. Restrictions were placed on items allowed inside cell blocks. Books could only be obtained through a tightly controlled library system, denying prisoners access to potential weapons or contraband hiding spots. Guards could no longer fraternize with inmates. Violating this rule meant immediate termination, as authorities blamed overly casual relationships for eroding vigilance. Strict professional boundaries were now enforced at all times. An elite tactical team trained to respond to riots, fights, and escapes remained on standby, reducing emergency reaction times from over an hour to under 5 minutes. Canine units able to detect drugs and hidden weapons were paired with random search teams. Constant video surveillance systems with monitors in a central control room ensured rapid detection of prohibited activities. Rules mandated continuous observation, with lapses subject to severe sanctions. The new measures ingrained an aura of danger, cautioning guards against complacency. Though controversial for their strictness, the policies succeeded, ensuring the disorderly conditions enabling the escape could not recur. 10 participants in the escape plan ultimately received death sentences, with the Briley ringleaders first to face Virginia's electric chair soon after their capture. The episode strained relations and trust between guards and convicts for years, but it provided one silver lining, pressuring Mecklenburg to reinforce long-lax security standards. Through the shocking scheme, the escapers' exposure of institutional failures drove lasting reforms. Their breakout ingrained an aura of enhanced danger around the facility, and the greatly strengthened protocols in its aftermath ensured nothing similar could happen again. This dramatic escape rocked America's justice system and captivated the nation. Though terrifying while it unfolded, the intricate plot and desperate manhunt make for quite a thrilling tale. We hope you enjoyed this retelling of one of history's most incredible prison breaks. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't already and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you never miss new stories and footage of some of the wildest true crime events in history.